tie for ne ahwefo na ahwe ansa na mewura transfers nim kra no mame ending komo kakra ewo enura FIFA Club World Cup ko enim because nkofo interest ewo ho on say enura team City share by na match na nipa dodo na follow no ye Real Madrid any Hilal game no because of enkomododo na Xabi Alonso edi say season we no Real Madrid for ball no wakasa bebre afa ho se obesesa no so na nipa dodo na ekohwe Xabi Alonso style be na Real Madrid for never ball insisa yi be ba na so na nkofo adwen kran se da any results ne so kese by the style of play the approach of Real Madrid anana na nkofo hwehwe on say before the game na Xabi Alonso akasa say ye bebo proactive football ye bebo rock and roll football enti obi ekohwe say Real Madrid ensem na Xabi Alonso kan ye no menya total dominance bebo beautiful football attractive football de be control game na any ade na nipa dodo na kwa akotwe by kwaku nukura wo ni ye say ye hu ni sa and me personally as a Real Madrid fan na me expect say Xabi Alonso be ni manimu ya no or be say Real Madrid for style of play within some few days enti na me de nim say entimi nkonya sa ensisa ye bebre or Real Madrid style of play nim by na hu be hia say ye ba akwohwe say ye be hu signs bi say ensisa ye be ba na kwaku in as much as enra yanse de hu Real Madrid or dominate Hilal for no or mobile attractive football no mi hu Xabi Alonso ade na opese oye no mi hu kakra o mentimi anyo by mi hu science ne say this particular style of play this approach ana Xabi Alonso pese obo on say na odi kan boy back four no boy no sa wa hwe Xabi Alonso wo Liverpool na anytime bia no se wanya back three no oba back four so no ni kura ball na opese onya back three enti kwaku se o follow Xabi Alonso ye share game na se no na we no under 1 minute 1 minute no Xabi Alonso back four no sha se se obebo no anytime bi o mbe kura ball ni bia no Trent Alexander-Arnold move inside ebeka Tchouaméni hu na back four no abeda ne back three because Frank Garcia abeka no abeka Dinhausen ana Asensio hu na ye back three na Arnold move aban finfin ho no abeka Tchouaméni hu sa Tchouaméni no abeka ne hu no allow Jude Bellingham ana Fede Valverde say omo moving ko manim kakra the moment on be move akọ manim no anytime bi na Xabi Alonso expect say Vini Junior ana Rodrigo be stay wide so anytime bi Xabi Alonso be kura ball ni bia no de mi hu ni say no person Real Madrid for use a 3-3 enu Xabi Alonso ade a mi di kan hu ye no se Real Madrid for kura ball ni bia na in possession or person almost a structure no 3-3 and the reason why your person 3-3 ni say or person build it from the back or build it from the back I now say Arnold abeka midfielders no obenya numbers won finfin to control the game so o control game no won finfin wa or won fini on the left or Rodrigo on the right on betimasa expanded the wide area now wetimi utilizes our wings so or build it from the back no when you control in the midfield now I say utilize your wings no and no the style of play na Xabi Alonso episode use by nukre wo ma won here say boys no omuntimi enti ase untimi use one game emfa enti ase because one a China person or building from no the me who ni say e only Dinhausen and a ball nukra na no ye comfortable apart from Dinhausen players are no more chron so more building from the back are no munye too comfortable and am finfin na Xabi Alonso expected Real Madrid for me for this say on be control game no obi to say Tchouaméni onye ball controller Tchouaméni enye deep lying playmaker Tchouaméni eye destroyer and oye distributor ne de ne say obegere wa beje ball obesay opponent play na we jai ball nim ne de no onye deep lying playmaker enti ebe take time ansa na Tchouaméni at Xabi Alonso system na say obi to say Fede Valverde oye destroyer oye distributor and oye ball carrier onye controller enti ono so be take time kakra se ufa Jude Bellingham de no say obe hold the ball obe distribute obe carry ball no obe protect ball no obe timi adrive ball no de ball na kọ nanim ono so nye typical controller enti ade ba kwa Real Madrid for lucky say typical midfield obe control game dia momo obe ti say Vitinha obe ti say Pedri la ni bi no Frankie de Jong Real Madrid for lack a ball controller
me ba cho o ball controller na wo ka no 6 die ni bia na say they be create ebia 8 die ni bia na say 10 because looks like Florentino Perez a creative midfielder and coach no so air 6 a be controlling no
omo hia ni mienu
sa
yes Madrid hia a deep lying playmaker et say Vitinha obegina defenders nanim on the better direction of play ball name left and right yem calm game ne down yen distribute ball no on the be deep line obegina defenders nanim obehia bi and obese hia at offensive midfield or creative a obetima breaking lines
no come mo 3-man midfield say ye de mienu sa be shemu a one ye drop no
and me sure say boys no mo no betima ye mpokre be take time eni me enimu ya de emfa
in a case say yanto ebia ma no midfield ho a sa 6 ho no e benye obi ama na gba na
entine nenu amehwe entine nenu na me hu ne say or try say Arnold more time obe invert no
no be boa kakra
no be boa mfimfio that's the reason why mostly na Arnold invert no be boa mfimfio because obe hia midfielder onimbo oni kura enti Real Madrid the Real Madrid fan na fashion team say better give time because Oma Bonda Carlo Ancelotti Real Madrid ball ni direct transitional omunim ball na yem fam kura yem build it from the back yem control mfimfin yenyi opponent ni mfrim no afina enye so munim you ba enye omo style of play no
ebe
take time kakra ana say no awohwe ya ma me time na omo press no on say Xabi Alonso ye say opese olusu ball mo be press tentem eno ye shake game na say no me notice ade ba ko time no
1 minute 26 seconds
Real Madrid for yesterday
omo air pressing corner start attack and Madrid rise from there no
enti on Xabi Alonso anyo person de Real Madrid say you lose ball na no eni si ma opponent ni kura ball ni che e wo se e press yo mo ba no so enye Real Madrid first star ni say obe press high
enra edrum pempen so bi ase na omo de mu di agro no mu ntimi press well
because say Real Madrid for no air press ya omo ani mo na press ya ube hia players no mu achiro say omo be back the press enti the pressure ni be two opponent ni so a onye comfortable onya time on relax enti wo man the pressure na opponent u teammates ni back press na either say player ni be your mistake obeje bo na free ni say na so be call long but in the case of Real Madrid say omo press ya obi am back press no enti ema hilafo no enya space enya time na afede omo de Madrid for edi agro enti we video no sa video na oyi ye no sanka kan betima say yi bima
but omo fanfa TV no so kwa maye why
omo ball ma abate no omo ball ma abate sa because Real Madrid for press higher omo ntimi back press ema spaces in between the lines no enti na easy say hilafo ni betima kra ball a progress ball no enti sa ohwe ya etre Xabi Alonso hu say emu aye di enti na wo say o shift call ne normal 442 enti ombe bo ma batay sa
na cho video ni nie
sana abro ne ti omunim hawa ye press yi pa enye omo style no on say Real Madrid and Carlo Ancelotti opponent ni kura bomba be gu akira na the ball na bo mu wini ball na ne abo ne transition but say Xabi Alonso pese omo press na omo yere oje ball no enti a gradual process enye just one match e be take time
a good year pa no
but problem e wo ni say Real Madrid so entimi ma sa time no problem kakra mi so de ma Xabi Alonso no after players ni be take time on say after the game ana koto aka say omo ntimi nyusu just 3-4 days and France say omo style of play abra omo adapted to a style of play for almost 4 years e be take time and sa time na e be take no on be adapting them so one adapting them a o be La Liga o be UEFA Champions League so when ntimi adapting them now La Liga Barcelona sa twu mu bebre Champions League usa ko free ma na mfa so be na wo so misro kakra e de ma Xabi Alonso by second half no adagula e be mu no asemi hu say na Real Madrid for play ne ye kakra because adagula no timi kura ball ne kakra na second half no na ye ba kwakwade ba ko a miyem sa hye me se wo notice ya Real Madrid for defend no Arnold na obo right back ana Frank Garcia na obo left back no time they are no move back inside narrowly. Anytime they are Real Madrid be defending no, and not know about right back, and Frank Garcia no about left back no, or move back inside narrowly. Oh, expect to say Real Madrid four wingers Rodrigo ni Vinicius Junior na ebe occupy sa wide area ho in terms of defense. Say Real Madrid left back no right back move narrowly a. Omo pese omo stop Hilal for ne say omo nya sa central control. Yeah. By problem omo face in say anone Frank Garcia e move narrowly a. Abrantia your friend Vinicius Junior ni Rodrigo and occupy wide area ho enti Hilal for no omo switch play call left right unhu omo captain no. How I know the Real Madrid food agro I know mo tete anod. And Sesana Xabi Alonso be ya any okosia Barcelona more good wingers omo kofa Nico Williams be kan ho any ya so be ya shiu.
I think say ye nyina ye kin omo hiamre.
Aha ebini
because say no defenders no mu defend
narrowly
who defend narrow the NHS we jai
wide
areas na dia mo opponent
and to train na akonya team or good wingers a obekum
asemo
ana say Barca akonya Lamine no onya Nico Williams a on be ha ya ade
inti for the pass over be 36 passes number 9 can ball
Debbie
hey
enti be take time kwaku
erade yesu
o ya Madrid fan na no anya abotre kakra be take time kakra
36 more baby o
e be take time ba mi ogidie se be fa
okay
mi ogidie se be fa by enya ni manimu ya and most especially remember the coach team mo nim bo kra dia ene mbaye dene
ti we Hilal for kra na pass be 36 and Barca ayo ni on beji be
maybe when you say e be take time by e be fa
I think we all agree say it will take time
e be take time e be take time kwaku ma member transfers ne so ma na bigi embra onse wuko Italy the most successful club ewo Italian Serie A the old ladies Juventus omaji Serie A ne 36 times. Now recently Napoli ana Inter Milan na dominate Italian Serie A no. Juventus impeni for say person almost abedi Italian Serie A no. No mu leaders ewo every department. No mechire ho no almost omu ni leader. Enti omu ko Barcelona for a captain. Omu player omu center back Ronald Araujo. Omu ko akofa no. Juventus for say ombe here leader ewo mechiro enti omo ko Barcelona na Barcelona omo defender Ronald Araujo Juventus for akwa no no omo ogidie say omo de offer emu edu eba akoma Barcelona for no no omo sa de offer emu edu akoma Ronald Araujo no omo de sa offer no koma team na omo ogidie so mbenya samra Ronald Araujo amena be si akan de ma Juventus na no madua Juventus for afa on say Nico Williams abeto dwa say Barcelona betimi afa no ma register na omo financial fair play space no e wo say omo timi free 25 million euros enti e basa na e wo say Barcelona ton player kese ba ko na free sa space no omo de betimi register Nico Williams na omo betimi ton player ba ko a ene abrante friend say eye Ronald Araujo e ka ho and the release clause no from 1st July to 15th of July reduce about 65 million euros. Enti Juventus esi omo ko Barcelona akofa Ronald Araujo. When the Kenya say Thomas Partey issue ne ho. Na kwaku de atuemu nie. Thomas Partey ne Arsenal komodie no slow down kakra. Na slow down ni nyina na ye say Arsenal for Partey so obetna. Partey person otna London because oni nebusuafo asset wo London. Enti Arsenal for say Partey ye person otna. Partey so person otna Arsenal sanka problem bi ani ho. By problem ama sa adi oni nyina o matimi stop ni nyina yes kasem. Mame Arsenal for omo salary omo wages no. Arsenal for wages no. The odis kakese power Arsenal. As it stands now, Kai Havertz £280,000 a week. And a Kai Havertz edge. Gabriel Jesus etosu mienu. Odegaard etosu miensa. Declan Rice etosu fourth. And a Partey etosu fifth. Enti Arsenal players ni na di odis kakese pa no di etosu fifth. Thomas Partey. £200,000 a week. Na sa £200,000 a week no. Odi ko year na £10.4 million a year. And during the negotiation between Arsenal and Thomas Partey, onim say Thomas Partey oyanda JJ Sports. And sa JJ Sports no, executive director for JJ Sports, Jose Daniel Jimenez. On the director for JJ Sports. On the Arsenal for din common and on say, Samon pesamude aketwani bibeka humpo krana. Ye maintain £200,000 na Partey no. And Arsenal for say enchebi omo be renew Bukayo Saka contract. Omo the Bukayo be ko £300,000 a week. And a Partey age no. And come omo te so. Na diama papa friend say Jose Daniel Jimenez book free ni say kwaku te no mpɛ sɛ ɔmo te so no yɛ tete sɛ anka mpɛ sɛ ɔmo te so almost bare half ɛka ho bi na yɛ se ɔmo atwentwɛn so no anka mpɛ sɛ ɔmo te so bare half
pata sɛmi de
enti ɛyɛ sikasɛm nti na pata deɛ no ɛnso so akɔ si saa no enti so far deɛ yɛ sɛ Saudi for naba Atletico Madrid wɔ hɔ AC Milan Juventus then Fenerbahce Galatasaray Barcelona ne pata deɛ no kwaku deɛ tie nie sɛ Barcelona bɛkɔ for pata agye sɛ ɔma tɔn Ora Romeo sɛ pata bɛtuma move akɔ Barcelona agye sɛ Ora Romeo free Barcelona
na Romeo no obi bɛtɔ
sɛ ɔmo nya tɔfoɔ enti sɛ pata situation no na Ghana ni abranteɛ Jerome Opoku center back Jerome Opoku na nsɛyɛ na mpɛ sɛ mete Ghana for no transfers nim mahu sɛ kudu so keka ne ho kakra semenyo keka ne ho kakra Salisu keka ne ho kakra na Jerome Opoku enura me de Kamal Din Edie bro the center back a o si akandema Istanbul Basaksehir oh ye Ghana Blasters player Jerome Opoku onim say season na end no onya fine season wo Turkish league no Galatasaray for ne Istanbul Basaksehir for di nkomo for Jerome Opoku I say Istanbul Basaksehir for no up 9 million euros for Jerome Opoku because of the performance o showcase here enti Galatasaray for eba na kwaku Barcelona for ni ntie mi no mu nyi o masum say Barca for no masum yi o mo de brutal Nico Williams kwaku na ni bre na abre so person Barcelona no esen krodom ni nyina na say onim say nura Bilbao for ne ko na busuafo ho Bilbao ko Nico Williams abusuafo say omuni abusuafo ne bekasa ontena Bilbao krom ha medical bekatro say omo free Basque region e Spain no eya den somebody disrespecting mpanyimfo enti na okay the last summer esi ye no mpanyimfo ne hu na abusuafo na omo ne boy ne kasa na adwen sesan enu omo sa ko hu na abusuafo se omo pese omo ne kasa na boy na adwen sesa the open bi omo ya ma no te say the last time the only betu the highest paid player of Bilbao bonuses omo ka bia akra ne se da bi da gbede onjintu last summer sana mo ka kire me we de dem beke bia no impanyimfo onye se mibu manimtia meko Barcelona na some few hours Bayern for so try the wo so mo ye bia eno so abrante no asa bagu onim se Bayern for ne sa increase o musika no akra ne se da bi onko ope Barcelona na kwaku ahasei ana mahu se Nico Williams ne ni abre Barcelona no onim se ni sika o ne Barcelona agree ye no eye 12 million euros eno ne ye gross ye nyante tax no ye te tax ana bonuses ka ho a eye 7 million euros kwaku de me ye ma hyeme ne ye se Nico Williams aka che ba sampanyin for say se ne salary ni mpokro mbesa ate so mpokra no metimi dia register no monte so e chere how abrante na ye desperate so be join Barcelona enti Nico Williams say ne salary no so mbesa ate so mpokra no metimi dia register na omonsa enti so nti kwaku die ba no Manchester for latest offer for Brian Mbeumo and so 60 million pounds Manchester at the air co Milos Kekes and Liverpool die no Bournemouth for na tiska so about 40 million pounds na Bournemouth for air 45 if Liverpool for omo de call a year 40 million pounds kakra e free ho so air ban nti kwagu
okay
ensam ne de edoso mehwe menkrata no so a edoso bebre on say abrante friend say Kwanza Liverpool center back
Jarrell Kwanza
yes wakache Liverpool for say Liverpool sin obeko
onko
obeko Liverpool sin no
ebeboa no
enti Liverpool for say okwa eni okofa Magei e de naba Magei free Crystal Palace
e de naba Mate
Manchester so ne Benjamin Sesko asha ase Manchester ene Benjamin Sesko asha ase
okay come
Sweetie Biggie
Kogu
hey Kogu Mama Shasia from a Club World Cup games about so Real Madrid. To be honest, Real Madrid and the Al Hilal Kwakubo game. May assure say you would do I expect to say you more game na I am pono. Now Real Madrid na image just the victors and I say Madrid a carry the day. Now Madrid a share Al Hilal, now Madrid calling him. That was the expectation of a lot of us. Because if you say one Real Madrid an European team and a very big club for that matter, the biggest of all clubs. We are only free one more. Al Hilal and to free Saudi Arabia neighbor. It's a team of free Saudi Arabia no Bible Real Madrid. They certainly you catch you say Yibakwa, even without looking at the quality of players, both sides. Team will be in the first Real Madrid and as a team of free Europe and so ever. Game in the shot, you know. Adiabakwa me who you say. The Real Madrid team is going to need time to adapt to the kind of footballer. Coach FN says XABI ALONSO Babeche. Football me nim. When it comes to football, most of coaches, any players, obia first season adaptation. Coach in the bar, I feel no Babeche ball or opposite team the ball. Na players and those who are adapted. And in football, they be a made to talk classroom home. Koku obi IQ or so pa. If the coach and the chair tactics and the system na quickly na fa na player konatia se na obona niema kon kind de mano. You obi nso so ho no mo. Coach ne chair de ne sesia entimi mfa. Obehia time kaka ansa na watimi apeke. Obi ho no ma latter stages of the coaches ade na o another season no ansa na watimi apeke because ono na dwene eda ne team nso so ye different. Into all these things a play a role with the performance at Real Madrid Boboko ne dan ade na. It's not mean Conco expect a lot when it comes to a play of the Real Madrid team, but individually, quality him nan to Mabebo, especially those who are new, and an ame kwa helmo. Me who Dinhausen, clearly. O mame that kind of thing I mean who ye Nations League no. He played as an established central defender for Real Madrid. Play on Real Madrid team na che. Raul Asensio. I'll be expected to be a leader at the back. And no me who Dinhausen rather who was a leader at the back for Real Madrid Boboko no. Ono na na echere say why you ready say Real Madrid Boboko no betimi abo why you ready say coach le philosophy and in the game plan obetimi executing well and so the Real Madrid Boboko no eti performance our dined in the just ended season e we benum of team nim and the who ye Nations League nim no it wasn't just by fluke abrantie ne to so enra e ma ye hu ni more than more on Raul Asensio that penalty committed was bad. If he was a gamer, now Real Madrid any abre so be here points at their qualifier corner him. Maybe a Champions League semi-final be Champions League. Make us say an all-important gamer and Cabranti and let's say Real Madrid down. That penalty at that stage or at that moment of the game, it was so poor. From player friend say Raul Asensio. It was needless. And they have to talk to him.
I say, oh, you're overly aggressive, Nancy.
Yes.
He got to impress.
Minim say Sergio Ramos tag now with the man in the team dia. Because that tackle was needless. Then for be any so. On player friend say Trent Alexander-Arnold. Kwaku. Say auto Trent Alexander-Arnold. You have to know say player now what on offensively obema a lot of options. But defensively, that is where the player's deficiency is. On your players a pressure back team so. Now you defend there. Obetimi aboa a lot when it comes to defensive duties. Nancy ya hundu no Mendes no. Fullbacks are or combining offensive duties and defensive duties. But Trent Alexander-Arnold the NNTSA. And defensively, Obe leave a lot of spaces. Defensively, Obe say ABA opponent in each so. But offensively, and in the first half, he was among the players that not completed a lot of passes for game. Real Madrid. The passes for boy in the first half, no, he completed 84% of those passes. In the game or minutes or last day, or called the final third of the pitch 12 times. Until clearly, offensive Jumani the Obus are brandy any boy. But when there is pressure on Real Madrid, a better ding, and so the Amasa brandy anybody to me a lot. He didn't really have so much of a good game. But then again, yeah, man, another row. And so Real Madrid Bobo Konima. Now all boss an inverted fullback. And definitely a bit creative problems Kakadi Amano until so be adapted to the coaching system and then to the Real Madrid team and Kasa. We are only free one more. Adiaba Kwame who ye say in the absence of Kylian Mbappe, Real Madrid at times struggle anymore. I am saying this because Goncalo and as a Gonzalo, the young player who started for Real Madrid and now as a striker. Real Madrid, Castilla Honoma. He's been a very good performer. This season at the Castilla level, about 36 matches and watched 25 goals at that level. It will be a prolific. But at the senior level, and not the clearly, Real Madrid needs to get another body. I don't know about me about in the absence of Kylian Mbappe. I'm going to be informed into
Enrique
is there, but Enrique also nankasane ba Real Madrid no kwaku. Bisa was a farmer nana. Enrique our Brazil was a different Enrique from the Enrique we've seen at Real Madrid.
Okay, let me ask this. Say options in Niwa between Gonzalo Garcia and Enrique. Uno ya XABI ALONSO abe from Hana.
Mefa Enrique.
Okay.
Yes.
But still, now Susu said the level in Yendru.
Oh, of course. Of course. Say Oba, you know, the kind of performance or the there have been times I will no opportunity or boy. But at least that consistency will be here. For a Madrid player, team now will come. No. There are standards set by players or maybe team be down. We are going to grade your performance based on the standards of Omo Medica Babe Bonasete. You can't say Fernand Munyadi. You say Frank Garcia Munyadi. They are not so bad. But you heard the Real Madrid left back position now. Marcelo Mobo no Mobo any standards no set, you know. When mo the will form too much. It's based on Omo Medica Babe club the standards no set, you know. You the grade you. And then until I make us say, Madrid making sure some Mubenyo obi. And so was our position anymore. In case a Kylian Mbappe knew one, that token wouldn't be felt. And they have to work on their penalty taking. The last 19 penalties are Real Madrid. Almost 12, no, 7. They've only converted 63%. And it is bad for a club like Real Madrid. Juventus Susubo game. Now there are 2 people in the Juventus team. I'm happy for them. First of all, your coach, I go to do. I am one person that I need trust. I will coach in Mukra. But about for Juventus Bobo no. The na Juve person we say at least baby all form dey free no. Champions League no more free and that Thiago Motta. And this one no ba be fat team na. Remaining matches now I can o make sure so betimi ayere ne ho. Na odo ma qualify for the Champions League. Eventually otimi yes adwuma no. E wo hono mo dey qualify for the Champions League. Or qualify we no ya man a contract. There are a lot of coaches I be anko be relente. Anko onye so much serious, onye that focused to perform for Juventus Bobo no. But after say a real league season, no, all 9 matches in the league, Obabe taking over. A winning 5, no draw 3, no losing just 1 against Parma. Almost started Club World Cup. He's picked up from where he left off in the season. The first matches were about 5, and so it is good for him. Oh yeah, no if you want to play a friend is Randall Kolomwani. Kwaku, I am happy for the player because at a point, not play a friend is Kolomwani or Paris Saint-Germain, a surplus to requirements. Onya be more because of one coach in the system and then the disbelief in the player and the player and if you want to any Juventus and that Thiago Motta okoya the first match for Juventus omu lose 2-1 to Napoli no she go back e de mabo boko no. The second game Juventus win by 4 goals obo brace. The third game Juventus win your sign so bo brace. It's in the first 3 matches for Juventus no I share 5 goals the Diamond Juventus bo boko no. The last time a Juventus a striker Otimi achieved after was Roberto Baggio. It's now yet den. And the other strikers don't know competing. No. It's now all born name kind of bano. And then coach a friend Thiago Motta leaves the scene. Or no, they will buy. I got to the buy. No, only so much trust in the player. It was Shasiasa or Benchino. No one used to design Vlahovic. And so I'm about Juventus Bobo Konimo. But a brand say anytime he gets the opportunity or trying the possible best, say Juventus Bobo Konim your baby Biamani Pen say he's a good player and he's in to stay. And not getting the opportunity. Our Club World Cup anymore. Was I saw about 2 goals at the Juventus Bobo Kono. And now after that 2 goals, reports sending them Italy. And on the timelines, and so say Juventus are shall see how many Paris Saint-Germain didn't come. So almost sign per brand any loan biome. Not possibly this time around, almost they are ashamed with an option to buy. Because anytime be a brand any opportunity, and for say coach no not only so much trust, on your opportunity be deliver, and it is good for the player. I am happy for coach a friend say I go to do any player, and so a friend say Randall Kolomwani. Kwaku Mohamed Kudus. I feel said this is the time I want Mohamed Kudus make a move. Seriously speaking, if we have any nipa so now Bobra, Obia wa ambitions. Obia obotaye sin ani so. Enti ebia there are times when you are making a move. The whole hand say baby awko sesi an ebeboa wo. But woko koduru wonu mu wia na obehu say baby wo baby awko pie nanim. I say utimi pre na woko. I remember those days when we were kids at Obama camp. I had a friend. Akwaku so no woni kurom no. Na ne mpa bo nyina ne so obeba be pia akra because onim so be pia akra wa wi abrabo no. But obeduru akra no and ohun so omo wa akra no so pre ko ba bia friend is abrochiri eti afei obeseti new goals and the targets and so the man ho. Mohamed Kudus as a player e was Ajax, a good player for that matter. Performance and was so obo goals in gum. Who share Ajax now they are to West Ham United ho. West Ham United compared to Ajax in terms of history and status Ajax so change West Ham United, but West Ham is in the Premier League. Almost that kind of make us audience any attention. It's not Kudus in that Premier League attention. Edia marketing ho. Now he's been there. The assessor Abrantia ne yede ma club no waye. The assessor o chere mani pa unso ni born Abrantia na chere. In the just ended season, Ebiana numbers didn't say the previous season, but the woman say Mohamed Kudus and West Ham United Nankasa Yinano season 9 Shadan Koye. So if there's a new suitor, a project on one building, the new coach feels or trust room. I'll bet me a platform more perform here. It is a deal of what's our brand and try to push him and go through. Anya Biampono, Tottenham Bebo Champions League in the coming season. West Ham United in Count or Mobi or the 14th. And that alone, I feel that Champions League platform, any BBA Mohamed Kudus, and he has to force his way through for this move to happen. I was our brand any pushy.
Okay.
Ferdinand Amaya will say we play out to me man for pressure me at home. Yes.
Okay.
Also on Leeds United, the Biano chairman in the office. Manchester for so open Bamenko. Me pesemeko. So you have to do things to make sure so Bobemoko because that platform is going to help the player and we need him to get into the Champions League.
May I say, Nyamia Tumwa Kwesiada Double Soccer Academy, ye call Western North, Seshi, Debiso, Mesamo, Mwamu Seshi Bibieni, and any environs, Mushaye, Ewo, Seshi, Debiso. Fre, na Jinchrimu, Opesa by more direction, Ewo 0244 576 606. Now we join here Double Soccer Academy and so on. Yeba if you some no ho us e wo ho ye be share e dia mawo. Other stories available. May we see.
Introducing Betway's Bet Influencer, a groundbreaking feature where you can make money by just sharing codes. He just needs to share his codes and make money. The more his codes are used, the more money he makes. Oh yes, so what are you waiting for? Anyone can be a bet influencer. Share your codes and make money. Bet Influencer, another world first from Betway.
This advert has been